Thanks for joining me on the crypto simulation. Tonight I'm going to talk to you about Dogechain. Before I begin though, just a reminder that nothing I say is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Any price predictions or projections are purely for entertainment or educational purposes only. Be sure to join me at the Snake Pit on Telegram. If you sign up this month, you'll get a free portfolio management tool right afterwards. Now, Dogecoin was originally minted as a hard fork of Litecoin, believe it or not, back in 2013. And its main use has been for payments, for being able to pay people in an easy and convenient way. Unfortunately, Dogecoin doesn't really have much of a use case. It is technically the first meme coin to be released in the crypto space, and that had to do with the fact that people were kind of tired of seeing crypto be so serious, and so meme coins were seen as sort of a way to make it a little bit more enjoyable and community focused. So that's when Dogecoin was created, and unfortunately as a proof of work algorithm, so while it was extremely secure, just like with Bitcoin, it didn't really lead to very efficient DeFi, to say the least. Like Bitcoin too, Dogecoin can get very slow, especially if the network gets congested. So a solution came along that was actually developed by the Dogecoin community called Dogechain. And what Dogechain offers is a very diverse, fluid, accepting, and exciting ecosystem where the entire focus and emphasis is around community. So Dogechain is a zk-EVM compatible token, originally created as an EVM compatible token or Ethereum virtual machine. And I want to show you the tokenomics of Dogechain before I get into some of the other aspects of it so you can see just how community focused it really is. One thing I wanted to show you first, this is what sums Dogechain up in a sentence. Dogechain is a new blockchain entirely built and designed to be community driven. It's not really that new anymore. No venture capitalists, no big promises that they can't keep, such as 1 trillion transactions per second, powered by a world-changing consensus algorithm. One more sentence. We're an honest project that simply seeks to bring blockchain applications to the Dogecoin community. So the Dogechain token distribution is fully transparent, with 29% being devoted to the ecosystem DAO fund, 15% to network operations, 12% to community airdrops, most of which were done in the early stages of Dogechain's adoption. So you see the breakdowns there. Polygon Reserve 1% and Robinhood Reserve 1%. And so you can see a nice little pie chart right here, and then it has the wallet addresses of all the different funds that are on there. And yeah, there were some airdrops to the Dogechain community, 3% to early sheeps, 9% to loyal sheeps. And yeah, so that's basically the tokenomics as far as the token distribution goes. As now in terms of like the actual tokenomics themselves, you can see right here that Dogechain has a fully diluted valuation of $200 million. However, the circulating market cap, or the total market cap right now, is 32 million. Normally, I don't go for highly inflationary tokens, but I make an exception for this one just because of the exceptional dynamics of this project, and I really just admire what they're doing by building community. That's one of my strong investment tenets. So anyways, this is not like all released at once. You mint Dogechain tokens when you're converting Dogecoin, and I can kind of explain how that works later. Dogechain is available to purchase on different centralized exchanges. Unfortunately, if you're in the United States, like I am, you have to use a DEX, so we can kind of get into how that works in a little bit. Dogechain scored a perfect 100 out of 100 on the D.Fi token scanner, which is really excellent. Can't get much better than that. Now, the way that the governance DAO works is that you have voting power granted to you by VEDC, which was modeled after Curve DAO's model for governance. So as you can see here, Dogechain has a circulating supply of around 27.3 billion, and 23.6% of that is locked for an average time of 3 years and 10 months. And so let me just explain this in a simple way. Depending on how long you agree to lock your Dogechain up for, you'll get a commensurate multiple of VEDC rewards all the way up to As you can see, you can lock it for up to 4 years, and then here is the VEDC multiple that you get all the way to 8x your original Dogechain. And so that gives you access to voting rights and really incentivizes community with a very strong and active community, and incentivize people to think of ideas to improve the layer 2 network. And I mean, you've seen other DAOs out there implement similar models, right? I think I even talked about Aerodrome. They have VE Aero. Velodrome has VE Velo. So it's a similar kind of idea to incentivize long-term staking and also supplying liquidity to the liquidity pool. And they try to make it fun. So you can see some of the past governance vote proposals here on I can't even say it. Dogris. I guess it'd be Dogris. So the most recent proposal to pass with an overwhelming 99% was Dogechain on Polygon zk-EVM, which will be coming really soon. And Dogechain meme revolution DAO vote, quorum threshold removal, and so on. You can see all the different proposals that they've had since early 2022, mid 2022. Back to the original website, they have an ambassador program where you can actually contribute your creative ideas and spread the word about all things Dogechain to the community. I see ambassadors often in their Telegram group, and we'll talk about some of these other things in a little bit, but they've got just a huge ecosystem of social links all the way from Discord, Telegram, Reddit, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. They got Medium articles, blogs. So again, it's all about community. Here are some of the innovative projects that are within the Dogechain ecosystem, and you can apply to have your project featured here as well. So here's a few of them. Cashino, kind of a cool concept. You can kind of scroll through this. This is all available off of the main website. There's some games as well. So GameFi is something that Dogechain has kind of brought to its ecosystem to expand the DeFi capabilities beyond just transacting money back and forth, but to make things a little bit more exciting. They've got NFTs, and I'll show you a couple examples of that stuff in a little bit. Something else I wanted to mention about VEDC. So VEDC tokens are governance tokens. They can't be sold or transferred or messed with during the lockup period. But you are eligible, if you hold VEDC, to get some extra airdrops, random prizes, lottery rewards, and serve as a network validator if you have a specific number of VEDC tokens. Now, you don't have to just stake to get VE Doge. You can also stake to get rewards, just flat out regular staking. So if you stake wrapped Doge tokens on the Dogechain blockchain, you can get Dogechain rewards. And staking regular Dogechain tokens will also give additional rewards. So there's definitely incentives to staking your Dogechain on the chain with a validator. You may end up with, just like any other staking model, end up with more than you started with, right? Let's also not forget that Dogechain is going to have its very own native stablecoin called USDO, which was developed by Owen Hayes at the Nova DAO. And some of the GameFi development going on at the Nova DAO will make its way over to Dogechain zk-EVM in the coming year. So when can Dogechain expect Polygon zk-EVM on their chain to be functioning exactly as planned? As early as possibly the end of this month. As it said here in this article from February 14th, Polygon zk-EVM set a date for March 27th. So, it's coming up pretty soon. If they make that deadline, that's going to be pretty awesome, and it's going to enable all these layer 2s. And then we also have, let's not forget, the Denkin upgrade, which just happened today for Ethereum. And this is going to basically empower layer 2s, which includes Dogechain. Dogechain is a layer 2 on top of Dogecoin, just like Ethereum is a layer 1, sorry. I'm calling Ethereum a layer 2. Polygon is what I meant to say. Polygon is a layer 2 on top of Ethereum. Dogechain is a layer 2 on top of Dogecoin. So what Denkin's going to do is make layer 2 transactions really cheap, to the point that basically all activity on Ethereum will switch over to these layer 2s. And it even says here there could be projects and protocols that will actually incentivize use by eating the gas payments users usually have to bear. And this is the biggest upgrade to Ethereum since the merge, and Dogechain is going to directly benefit from this as well. Dogechain also has a native wallet called the Dogecoin wallet. I was not able to create one of these today. I used a different wallet to hold my Doge, but as you can see, there's a little message here, and this is why I wasn't able to open one, but just about 6 days from now, the Dogechain network should be fully resynced. And if you do have a Dogecoin wallet on Dogechain, none of your data is going to be messed with during that time. So just to let you know, everything's still secure. So what I want to do now is take a look at the chart and then tell you how to buy Dogechain, especially if you live in the US and you don't intend on using a VPN. I can show you how to do that. But let's first take a look at the chart. So you can see kind of the airdropped effect. This happens with coins that are airdropped, and we bottomed out down here around 0.34, about 0.0034 cents, and then bounced back up. And we've kind of been in this flag for quite some time, and we put in a double bottom, if you count this as a bottom, put in a double bottom in October right before altcoins went on a major run, broke out of this triangle, and then kind of back tested it, straddled it for a little while, only to break out again fairly recently, just a few weeks ago. We had a really giant green candle towards the end of last month. So you can see that Dogechain has respected this trend line that I've drawn in pink since October, when altcoins really started to take off. Dogechain is trying to get all of its simple moving averages sorted out, but it is stacked above all of them right now, so that's a good sign. This is the 5-week SMA up here, and then you can see that it's kind of all the other moving averages are kind of clustered together, but it's above all of them at the moment. To me, it looks like it's in an accumulation zone, and this accumulation zone could extend for a little bit more time. Notice we just put in a lower high, but we also have a higher low. So we might see this waviness continue for a little while, but overall you can kind of imagine like a bowl shape kind of forming. That's kind of what I'm thinking might be occurring here. So I think you have time to DCA this coin. I don't think you have to like rush in and do a huge lump sum or anything like that. I do think you'll have time to get Dogechain at a relatively good value, but I wouldn't wait too long at the same time. The weighted Bollinger Bands just basically show an accumulation range to me. I don't see anything to get like incredibly bullish about, but I don't see anything to get bearish about either. I think if you hold this project, you should be patient and be willing to wait a little while, but that's kind of my philosophy behind investing, is to let the gains come to me instead of chasing them. I don't like to chase projects that have already pumped a significant amount, because that's just reducing my upside potential and increasing my risk. So again, this is not financial advice. This is just what I would do and what I've been doing. I do own Dogecoin, for the record. I actually traded in some of my, I do own Dogechain. I traded in my Dogecoin for Dogechain today, actually. I made that move today. And, I just see, look, I love Dogecoin. And I didn't really have much of a position in it, to be honest with you. It was such a puny position that I figured that money would be better served over here in Dogechain because of the higher upside potential of a layer 2, pretty soon to be Polygon zk-EVM. Let me tell you a little bit of something about that. Let's just take a little journey away from the price chart for a minute. This is Dogechain's Twitter, or X, and you can see that they put their pinned post is all about the new chain launching on Polygon. zk-EVM CDK chain development kit's been approved, so this is another chain that's going to be using that very soon. And they also have, I wanted to mention this to you before I forgot, but they also have weekly Twitter Spaces, and so you can actually go to their Twitter, their X account, and you can listen to these and hear from people in the Dogecoin community and the Dogechain community, including ambassadors, developers, and so on. Remember, I told you I like to go for relatively undervalued projects. Well, you can see, sorry about that, I don't know what that was. You can see that the beam has spent most of its time, other than in the very beginning where it briefly peaked above the DCA zone, in the extreme undervaluation territory, and it's just peeked its head back up into the DCA zone again. It's very low in the DCA zone, has a risk of about 0.05, so I see this as an extremely low risk play, and you can almost see a curve forming here. I don't know if I could try to draw it out for you. I mean, I guess it depends on how you want to draw, but look at this. I like to see this bowl sort of forming, so it kind of telling me we're probably going to chop around here for a little while. But then once we round the corner, man, we're going to just freaking take off. This thing is going to just go to the moon. That's my feelings, okay? I'm biased because I hold the project. Of course I'm going to say that. But no, I wouldn't say that if I didn't see it. I wouldn't even be invested in this if I didn't see it. I remember when I showed you Aerodrome, if you've seen my other videos, remember it had that like look of like we're on the runway getting ready to take off. I'm seeing that we're like, to me, it looks like we're about 2/3 of the way through that process with Dogechain. So I don't think we're done yet. I do think we're going to still follow this curve a little bit longer, but the risk is super low. I see it as a really, really great play for such a low market cap project. Really, I don't really feel like there's a whole lot of other TA to look at with this one. It just looks like an obvious buy to me, especially if you're patient and you can wait maybe a few more weeks to months, probably more months than weeks. But I think that Dogechain will benefit greatly from Polygon zk-EVM chain development kit. And once, I know they have a testnet for zk-EVM, but once that's fully rolled out and running, man, it's gonna take off. So I wanted to talk to you about three more things. I want to talk to you about how do you buy a Dogechain. That was a fairly complicated process for me, to be quite honest with you. But hopefully we'll see a centralized exchange like Coinbase pick this up for those of you who live in the US. If you live in a different country, it's super easy. You could grab it on KuCoin. You can grab it on any number of exchanges. But let me explain to you how you can purchase this, if you're in the US especially. Okay, so first thing is to download a MetaMask wallet. While you can get Dogechain on other wallets like Trust Wallet or Coinbase Wallet, which is what I used earlier today, regrettably, MetaMask is probably the best way to go in terms of storing this on a hot wallet. I do encourage you, of course, to throw it over to your Ledger, or your Trezor or whatever other cold storage device, but at the very least, yeah, you do need a hot wallet. So let's roll with MetaMask and see what our options are. So when you have MetaMask, what you're going to do is send Dogecoin, which you can buy on any number of exchanges, send that to your MetaMask wallet through the Dogechain network, which is an Ethereum EVM compatible network. So once you've done that, you should have Dogecoin in your wallet. And now what you're going to need to do is convert that Dogecoin to Dogechain. And so what that's going to involve is bridging. Let me explain. It's not as bad as it sounds. Okay, so dive.dogechain.dog/bridge is where you're going to bridge your Dogechain. If you don't know where that is located, just go to the Dogechain website, go to Dogechain Proof of Stake, POS, and you go click on bridge. And it'll take you right here to the bridge. And you're going to go ahead and connect your wallet. You click on your MetaMask, and once you do that, it's going to ask you to deposit Dogecoin. And so it'll reveal the address to send it to from your wallet down here once your wallet is connected. And there is a minimum amount of 100 Dogecoin to convert your Dogecoin to wrap Dogecoin. That's what this is doing. So let me just be clear that you're not converting your Dogecoin to Dogechain when you bridge it. You're wrapping your Dogecoin so that you can then convert that to Dogechain using a decentralized exchange, of which there are two primary ones that you are going to want to pay attention to. And I'll talk about those next. So once again, connecting to your MetaMask, go ahead and bridge your Dogecoin over to wrap Dogecoin through the Dogechain bridge. Then you're going to want to use one of two primary DEXs or decentralized exchanges to convert your wrapped Dogecoin into Dogechain tokens. And I recommend using QuickSwap if you can, because you likely will have access to a larger liquidity pool than the other DEX that I'm going to talk about. So make sure that you're connected to the Dogechain network up here, and then you have your wallet over here. We're going to go ahead and enter. Okay. And so we can see that what you would do is you would just swap your wrapped Doge. Go ahead and click here, click on Dogechain, and it's as easy as that. So that's it. That's all there is to it. Put your wrapped Doge here. I think the one thing that you might want to pay attention to is if it's WW Doge or W Doge. So that's something you should check in your wallet. I believe that it is wrapped Doge, which is just a W Doge, but there is doubly wrapped Doge as well. So that's something that I would just double check. I believe that I used wrapped Doge with just the one W. Always a good idea to just test with a small amount first. I always do that, so don't ape in all your wrapped Doge all at once. Make sure that you just try it with a small amount. Make sure that that works first, and as long as that goes well, then you can put more in on your next swap. Another decentralized exchange that you can use is ChewySwap. I actually used this one today, and I do kind of regret it, to be honest with you. I would have probably rather used QuickSwap. Now notice here it does say Dogechain WW Doge, so that must have been what I ended up doing. I don't even think I had to think about it here though. I just put Doge in and then Dogechain, so that was the easy part. Now why do I regret using this DEX? I think this DEX is excellent if you're going to be swapping a small amount of Doge to Dogechain, and by small I mean maybe a couple hundred or something like that. And maybe it was just my bad luck today, but I actually lost quite a bit of money on some swaps here. And what ended up happening is I tested out a small amount. It went fine. Everything was just okay. And then I raised the amount and I got a price impact warning. Now, it truly is my fault, and I can't blame ChewySwap for this. But I didn't really fully understand at the time what that price impact warning meant and how severe it was really going to be. Because I've had price impact warnings before on Uniswap or 1inch or other decentralized exchanges, and it's never really been that much of an issue. But let me tell you, it was a huge issue, and I lost about 30 to 40% of my Doge value, which I'm going to now have to make up through, hopefully realizing some gains. So I was not happy about that. So I don't recommend this DEX unless you're going to be swapping small amounts of Doge. In that case, it worked perfectly fine. You can also use this DEX for Shibarium, Shiba Inu related tokens, and maybe those have more liquidity. I'm not really sure why this one had such low liquidity. You don't want to be on the wrong side of that. Take it from me. It's a lesson learned today. So, of course, there's what is it called? There's arbitrage. I think when you're on the other side of the other side of it, where you actually get more than you bargained for. So that has yet to happen to me. Anyway, the chart for Dogecoin looks really healthy though. Like I said, it's on that nice curve. So I would recommend using QuickSwap over ChewySwap. But if you're going to be doing a small, amount, or you don't mind breaking up your large amount of Dogecoin into much smaller chunks, you might be able to do that just fine here. Also, the slippage was very strange for me on some of my swaps. I broke it down into 5 swaps and still had that issue. On some of my swaps, the slippage was like around 0.5%. Some I had to go as high as 4%. So I don't know. I won't use this again, but you certainly can for small amounts. So regardless of the way that you decide to do your swap, you're going to end up with Dogechain tokens in your MetaMask. Now, be aware that these tokens are a little bit difficult to track in a portfolio tracker. My Coinly software didn't pick up on them. My CoinStats software didn't pick up on them. So I had to manually enter my transactions, which is a little bit annoying. But that's just how it goes, folks. When you're getting something that's heavily undervalued, the process of getting it's not going to be easy. And if you've got to jump through all these hoops, that you probably got something good. You probably got a gem. So that's kind of the long and the short of it. Yeah, I ate a little bit of a loss today, but you know what? That's crypto. It happens, and I know that I'm going to be just fine. In a few months to a year, Dogechain is going to most likely take off like a rocket. Now, one of the issues that actually affected me was that I purchased Dogechain using Ethereum. I used Uniswap to purchase, and I held it in there all the while not knowing that I was holding the wrong token. So apparently there's no more support for their Ethereum pool, which would have been nice to know for the months that I had Dogechain in there. So I converted my old Dogecoin out, bought QuickSwap with it, but then I kind of noticed the chart today and I was like, I probably should buy some Dogechain again. And this time I bought the right one. Now at the time that I did the conversion, I don't believe that this converter existed. It now does underneath the Dogechain proof of stake. And so you would just go to convert and that's not this one right here. And you can actually convert from your ERC20 tokens to Dogechain mainnet tokens. And how convenient is that? I would have done this if I would have known about it, but I don't think that this was in existence at the time that I made that conversion out. And if it was, I certainly didn't know about it. So it's here for your use under, again, the fantastic Dogechain website. Now there's some really cool decentralized apps on Dogechain, and one of those is Dogetools. And you can see that their tokenomics are really pretty awesome. Nobody likes buy and sell taxes, but these go to good use. They're fully KYC'd. They've been awarded a security score of 96 out of 100, and I actually know both of the co-founders of this project. Really, really nice people, super helpful, and super intelligent. 100 million supply on the tokens, and this is like a $400,000 market cap. Now, they were, the Dogetools project was a homegrown grassroots project developed, and it actually competed for a grant from Dogechain, and they're not just a one-time winner of that grant, but a two-time winner. And they won a vote by the DAO investment grant, and believe it or not, the Dogechain DAO is their biggest holder. And their tip bot can be found in over 520 groups, and they have over 14,000 users. They support Dogechain, Polygon, Binance Smart Chain, Avalanche, CRO, Kava, Arbitrum, Ethereum, and Shibarium, which is a layer 2 on Shiba Inu. And they're actually looking to add base and more more L2s to this as well pretty soon. They've got links to all their services on the Dogetools website, and I'll link this in the video description. NFTs, staking, Doge Arch, audit, and TipBot. The TipBot is probably the most commonly used tool that I've seen, and this tells you exactly what their stuff does. So you've got tokens and NFT staking. You can stake your tokens to earn passive income, which is a one-day hold. Discover new Dogechain tokens through Doge Arch. BurnBot. This allows you to burn listed tokens right in the group chat on Telegram. So I know of several groups that have this, and I'm actually going to show you the Dogechain Telegram so you can know where to sign up for that, and I'll try to remember to link that in the description. You can actually put the Dogetools tip bot in your group. There's instructions right here how to do that and rain different NFTs down on people. It's kind of cool. And yeah, so this is some information about it and the price for the TipBot subscription. The roadmap is right here, and then they also have the token information on here as well. Here's the chart. Folks, this is a $402,000 market cap with $84,000 in liquidity. Granted, there isn't a lot of volume on it right now, but you know, it's a $400,000 project, so we got 2,557 of these rockets. So this is the trading pair. You can find it on their website, and this chart actually looks really good. So, you know, you have your typical little dump into existence and then just rocketed straight up. Let's see if we can do a measured move on this. From the bottom in September of 2023 to the top that was fairly recent. That looks like, let me scroll up. It's like a measured move of about a 17x. Wow. 17x. And then they had a little dump probably took some profits, right? And another run up, another 1.5x. So yeah, if this thing, I mean, this thing also has that nice curved shape to it. I don't own any of this token, but it sure does look attractive to get at least a small position in. This could really rocket off if this project continues to be as successful as it's been. You can find their trading pair on QuickSwap, and you're going to want to adjust the slippage by clicking on that icon there. In such a low market cap project, you are going to need some more slippage. For some reason, my keyboard is not registering this right now. But anyways, I'm not going to waste my time on the video trying to figure that out. But you would want to set the slippage, maybe if we go to Pro mode. It might help. I don't know if it's because I have, there we go, Pro mode, 4%. So I click on Pro mode, go to 4% slippage, and that will allow me to do the swap. You have a relatively low liquidity pair, so you are going to need more slippage on this kind of project. Keep in mind that a $400,000 project is going to be highly volatile, and I would not recommend you make it a large part of your portfolio, but if you want to speculate on it, by all means go ahead. I would do a very, very tiny percent of my portfolio into a project like this. Even though it's a really promising and great project, you have to just manage your risk with small market cap projects like this. So before we go any further with looking at more stuff about Dogecoin, I wanted to bring you some breaking news from Elon Musk. Big news. He said Tesla's going to enable Doge payments at some point. Listen.
When can you buy a Tesla with Dogecoin? Well, at some point, I think we should enable that. You can buy Tesla virtual with Doge, which is cool. So Dogecoin to the moon. In fact, a lot of people maybe don't know the reason that I actually ended up sort of, somewhat endorsing Dogecoin was when I was walking around the factory at Tesla, some people, they were just, they were working in the line, like not rich people or anything, and they said, can you please support Doge? And then also, I was at SpaceX, and also just, working in the factory, and some regular guys just said, hey, can you support Doge? And I was like, you know what? Doge is people's crypto, so I will support it. Because lots of rich people were supporting Bitcoin, and I was like, but people in line want me to support Doge, I'll support Doge. So, Doge is for you.
Hopefully that makes you extra bullish on Doge. I actually found that information in the Dogechain official Telegram group, and I will try to get a link to that in the video description as well. You can see right here. And so if you have any questions about Dogetools, this is one place you could go to find out about it. They also have their own Telegram group as well, which is linked on their website, so you can check that out. So one of the main NFT hubs for Dogechain NFTs is Mantra. Mantra doesn't only do Dogechain NFTs, they also do Shibarium, CRO. They support a variety of chains. And I wanted to talk to you about the Drugged Huskies NFT collections, which is one of the OG NFT collections on Dogechain. Created by some pretty cool people. They actually have their own Telegram, Drugged Huskies Telegram, which you should check out. And it has about close to 700 members. And yeah, so you can check out these cool drawings. They, I think, have the volume looks like it's about 12.89K Doge or 143,000 Doge chain, 80 listings, 950 trading, 2 pools. There's your liquidity. And you can see that these have been selling. And looks like the floor price right now is 60 Doge. So check out the Drugged Huskies. I'll put a link in the video description to that as well. They have their social links here. Thanks for joining me in the crypto simulation tonight. Please remember to like, subscribe, comment, and share. Also recall, nothing here was financial advice. None of my price predictions or projections are to be taken seriously as anything other than education or entertainment. So join my free Telegram at the Snake Pit. We have a very lively group in there of around 160 plus people. And once you join, you will receive a free portfolio management tool that I developed myself to use in this complicated market. I'm going to share that with you for free. So I hope you enjoyed this video on Dogechain and the Dogechain ecosystem. Hope it got you excited about learning more about this exciting project. And even though it can be a little challenging to buy the token, especially if you live in the US, it's a breeze if you live elsewhere. Remember that often the most undervalued gems are going to be the most hidden. So I'm really looking forward to Polygon's zk-EVM chain development kit finally fusing its way with Dogechain and seeing Dogechain achieve extremely fast and efficient speeds and help take the load off of Ethereum. So until next time, have a great day, evening, or night, wherever you are, and I'll see you again in the crypto simulation.